Sweet.
Welcome everybody to episode 244. Why is the music still playing?
Maybe I was doing peace signs.
Grooving to the tunes?
Maybe I clicked it to turn it off, but it still kept on playing.
Do you want to try that again? No. Welcome everyone. It's episode 244 of the You Can't Comp This NBA Trading Card Podcast. We're your hosts Adam Amy and Russell Gibson. After our midweek card bonanza.
Look,
or player bonanza.
I feel like that's actually where we started our podcast. We literally that was the whole show. It was just us doing comps, basically.
Yeah, which is, you can comp this. It's lots of comps.
We've moved away from it. I think that's been part of our progression, but at the same time, there's also a piece of me that just enjoys just going through a whole bunch of cards and
prospecting a few players.
Seeing what's what, and just checking out where the market is. So guys, if you didn't listen to the last episode, you want to get a bit of a marker for where the season is at the moment, absolutely go back and listen to that. You will not regret it. This week on the run sheet, though, we have got Panini reportedly has put themselves up for sale. Adam added this to the run sheet, so we've put this in at number 2. Ja Morant has been suspended for one game, and Adam reckons he's going to be traded. We're going to talk about the All Kings card, which we did reference in last week's show.
Yep.
We're going to talk about the gambling escapades of Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups, but we're not going to deep dive into that. And the reason we're not is just because we don't believe this is going to be too influential in the card market.
I was going to say, it's not overly hobby relevant, but...
And look, people at home, if you do think it is going to impact the card market, please drop us a line and we would love to hear why.
Speaking of dropping us a line, we're also...
great segue.
We're doing a live Q&A tomorrow
night.
Monday night. It's November 3rd. Melbourne, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Daylight Savings Time, isn't it now?
Yeah, it's AEDT. I had to look that up.
Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, that's a mouthful in a bit.
It is.
Yes.
Which is probably why they abbreviated it, right?
That's true. That's very true. So we're going to be. It's only going to be quick. What time are we going on? 8 p.m.
We've got 40 minutes to use up of our podcast data usage, so we're going to use 40 minutes.
We're going to go to the death knock, and then just
that's right.
40 minutes into the stream, it's just YouTube's just going to cut off.
Wow.
Well, actually, we'll probably go on, but anyone that's listening will be cut off after 40 minutes.
That's right. Yeah,
so
we'll edit it down.
All the good questions will be first.
Yeah. All right. We'll see how we go anyway. Anyway, the rest of the show, you guys can just wait until we get to the run sheet. Let's get straight into it. Panini is reportedly for sale. So I think at this point in time, it's pure speculation and rumor. However, I think we do need to acknowledge it. For me, this is 2 years too late. They should have put themselves up for sale 2 years ago when they still held some of the licenses, before all of their argy-bargy happened with Fanatics and their lawsuits and all this type of anti-competitive stuff. I think that the company still has some value because of all the IP that they, do hold in terms of National Treasures and Flawless and their Kabooms and their Downtowns, all that type of stuff. I think that is absolutely worth something. And I think, frankly, Topps needs a bit of help in the creative department. Like, for me, there's a very large gap between the inserts that are in Topps and the inserts that have been in Panini. And look, that could just be my own bias after looking at all their cards the last few years. But
look, Panini have taken a little while to develop to the point they got to. So I'm sure
for sure
Topps will get there. Do they need to buy it though? Is it really for sale? Is it an attempt to keep them relevant? Are they testing the market to see who's interested?
Oh, it could be all of the above. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think they should sell personally. Like, if they get an absolute bag from this and they can walk away from it, like they've done very, very well out of trading cards the last few years, and then to get a parachute on the way out, that would be quite lovely, because if you look at their roster
Mm.
now, it's not exactly
Setting the world on fire.
exciting stuff, really. Like it's a little bit of soccer. There's some B sort of grade B class boxing and UFC, like for some sort of lower leagues of that. There's
Yeah.
WNBA, which is probably the biggest thing on their roster, to be honest.
I think, yeah, probably one of the biggest they've got. They've also, haven't they got exclusive rights to Luka Doncic
That they do.
for a little bit? The other
And
thing, but with that, the reason, and I think maybe the reason they've voiced or put the feelers out, so to speak, based on their current roster, aside from having the rights to Luka, but I can't see anything that our friends in the Wondershine Index would be interested in.
What do you mean by that, man?
Well, they're not producing cards that are going to be worth millions of dollars, and do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're actually
Sure.
producing enough high-end stuff that creates that level of demand. I just wanted to throw Wondershine in for the hell of it. But...
Well, yeah, of course, we always need to talk about Wondershine too. Look, I think that high-end stuff will come, though, Ad. It's not if, it's when, right?
But
we know that stuff's going to come.
What, $1 million card in B-grade soccer?
Yeah, I mean that works. Like they have already made some higher end stuff with patches and
I'm just like, but the roster they've got with the licensing they have, I think they're going to struggle to get the demand up from the market. So
yes, I think, and that's the next part of the conversation is that what are the positives that would then come of this if that was then to happen? So then, if they did acquire it, I think all the athletes that you spoke about is absolutely true. So that would be Ja Morant, Kevin Durant, Luka. There's a whole bunch of other ones that are also exclusive to DJ Edgecombe. Well, yeah, Caitlin Clark.
Because if they got WNBA, yeah.
Well, no, actually, I think Caitlin Clark has signed with both, actually. She is very much about taking as many bags as she can. She's not so much about the exclusive.
Yep.
And then also, too, it would mean that you would get Topps Chrome.
Kabooms.
You would still get Prism. You would then get, National Treasures. And I think we fantasized about this a while ago, and that was my sort of ultimate fantasy, was that somehow they would pull all these products in together and sort of make this ultimate Chronicles product where it was all the high-end stuff sort of mixed in together. That would be one step closer to that sort of happening, but that would also mean that Upper Deck would have to come, and I think that's my comment too about this and Upper Deck referencing here. There's already a precedent being set in terms of what happens to a company once they lose their licenses. Just go look at what's happened to Upper Deck. Is that what Panini wants to do and sort of just be wading through these sort of, low-end products for years and years and not doing like a hell of a lot and releasing unlicensed products with, a couple of Jordan autographs in it? I suppose Panini would just do it with Luka and Jar. Maybe, is that what they want to do? I couldn't imagine that's the... the desired outcome.
It doesn't. I don't think it's a bright future for Panini, and maybe it's that they've seen the writing on the wall. Shame they didn't see it earlier, though. They could have worked something out, I guess, with Topps.
I mean, it's always easy for us armchair
hindsight's
experts to look
2020
back in hindsight and say this is what Panini should have done. And look, I'm guessing they tried their hardest to get into the market in some way, and they just got outdone by Fanatics. Look, I think you got to give Fanatics their flowers when they deserve it. Like, they've business-wise, they are very, very savvy. And I think the other thing that we've seen already, again, if I want to compliment Fanatics, is their marketing.
Yeah.
Like, we never saw that with Panini. Like, it's clearly they've got this huge vision of, how this is all going to play out. So, final thoughts on this, Adam. We'll move on, buddy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. But it'd be nice to see all of most of the basketballers on the same under the same umbrella, just so we can get autos for everybody.
I mean, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah.
But that's from a hobby perspective. It'd be nice to be able to acquire all of the autographs. Yeah.
Yeah. So look, my final thought would be I agree with that too. It'd be great to see all the athletes on the same roster instead of this kind of like split nonsense that we've had. But also too, Topps need some creative input and they need some help. It's as simple as that. Like, we need better cards, guys.
We've seen one set. I think you're jumping the gun. But anyway, I don't know.
I'm entitled to an opinion. I don't think it's...
That's all right. I don't know. Alvaro got me excited last week. He said there's some great stuff in the works.
Sure. No, I think the excitement is good, but at the same time too, Panini took a lot of risks with their inserts over the years. They did. they took a lot of risks with, in different products. Like Select was their toy that they just played with, and they threw stuff at the wall, and some of it worked and some of it didn't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really see that with Tops. That's my 2 cents.
1 year versus however many years of Panini. I'm like,
Sure.
Hang on,
but Tops has been
more
around for a
than
long.
one release.
Tops have been around for years, man. Already.
True.
They've still been doing this. Anyway, let's move on. All right, Ja Morant, this is yours. Lead the way, my man.
Right. So after the Memphis Grizzlies put in quite a not great performance against the Los Angeles Lakers, with Luka Doncic dropping another 40 points, Ja Morant was a little bit feisty in the locker room. I think the quote was it was an interview, and it was very much prodded by the media, and his
100%. By the way, I'm going to defend Ja here.
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm definitely with Ja. The interview was very targeted because he obviously wasn't happy with something, and his comment was, "Ask the coaching staff about that. That's not my call. Ask the coaching staff. They've already said what they want to say. They've addressed everybody, so go and ask them." Which is pretty much, I don't agree with what the coach did or said in a roundabout kind of way. As a result, Ja's been suspended for one game. For what was the I don't know. It's not bringing the game into disrepute, but going against having a negative impact on the team.
Yeah.
I'm like, he didn't pull a gun out, which would have been
to
very
which
Ja
Morant responded in a tone deemed inappropriate, sources told Shams.
Yeah. So in an inappropriate tone. After losing a game of basketball, he was supposed to be happy and all happy-go-lucky, so positive about the result. Like, come on. Like, you've seen athletes do it. God, the amount of times Kobe is just like, deadpan, are you kidding me? What are you talking about? We lost the game.
Yeah.
What do you want me to be happy about? And it's, and I really, I do empathize with Ja here. I think, yes, you need to keep your any displeasure about the coaching between coaching staff and players behind closed doors and deal with it there.
100%.
But the media these days are unrelenting, and if he's allowed the coaching staff will go ahead and interview him when he's fuming about what you've just said in the team huddle.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Look,
I don't know. I think it's him and his management agreeing to signal I want out, or it's already been decided by the front office that they want him out. If the coach is not running him for the minutes he wants to play, there's one unhappy party, possibly two, and I think there's a Ja Morant trade looming.
okay. So my response to that is that my observation of this is absolutely it's a personality clash that's going on here.
It's been a personality clash for the better part of 5 years.
The other thing for me too is that also seem to be, even though he's quite young, their head coach. I don't think he's that old at all. So for me, it almost seems like a generational sort of like gap that's happening there, or sort of even like a miscommunication thing. Because, like for me, that seems a very benign thing to suspend somebody for. Like it's not enough to, in my mind, to warrant a suspension.
But that's a shots fired thing, right? Suspending him is actually, rather than going to bat for him and going,
message.
Yeah, it's sending a very clear message, and I'm sure if given the way also, things are happening,
I think probably the thing to point out here, and I think this is the most important part in my head, is that last year the offense was very much built around Ja. They had much better shooting and spacing, whereas this year the offense.
Well, they don't have Desmond Bain. They've
I don't
effectively
really
started to blow it up.
understand how, like, I think they should build everything around Ja, and everything should be, focused on him and him creating. But that doesn't really seem to be. I haven't watched enough Memphis this year, and it's still a pretty small sample size. But that's my gut feeling. Like it doesn't quite sort of suit his like talents that much. So I don't really understand that. But looking at his minutes, I actually don't think it's really a minutes thing per se. Because look, 28 minutes, 21 minutes. Okay, that's a little bit low. But then moving forward, 27, 31, 31, 30. I think 30-ish minutes a game when you're coming off an ankle injury It's the start of a very
That's
long
fine.
season.
I think it's the system.
Like,
I don't think he's
is that,
happy with the
you know
system.
what I mean? Like, why is that such a, like, people have been bringing up that his minutes is an issue. I don't really think so.
Oh, they're probably trying to manage him in the rotation.
Yeah.
But on that as well, maybe he's just not happy with the system as well.
Yeah, look, I think that's a bigger issue. I think let's talk about his cards though, because you are also suggesting he might be traded. If he gets traded, I think his cards are going to boom.
Well, the question is, where does he go? And obviously, the first people
Where
that
do
put
you
their
think?
hand, Miami. I think Miami's a good fit.
They're always sniffing around at sad stars, aren't they? Like that's their MO.
Well, they had a very unhappy Jimmy Butler, and he became the hometown hero there. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we got playoff Jimmy from after
Until he was sad.
but it was like, but
Then
it
he
was
was sad.
Philly,
He
it was
was emo
Minnesota,
Jimmy.
it was Chicago, and then when he went to Miami, Miami put in some decent stretches. They
For
reduced.
sure.
They, I suppose, breathed some life into his game.
Yeah.
And
I hear you.
maybe that kind of, head
Yeah.
down to South Beach and get
So despite-
some sunshine for Jar.
All of this, his PSA Silver 10 is up 15% the last 3 months. Last traded at 250.
It's pretty, like, to be fair, it had already hit some given because it's Jar because of the injury history. It's interesting looking. However, over the last 12 months, he's down 40%.
Sure.
12 months ago, he was trading at $490.
Look, I'm really drinking the Jar Kool-Aid at the moment, so I'm probably not the right person to talk about this. But I think in the event of him being traded, I think that's going to be an absolute banger of a buy. Look, I got to be honest with you, man. I still at 250. I don't think this is terrible.
I don't think it's terrible at 250.
There's a lot of upside with this kid.
I think
He's a hype
I
machine.
think with the trade rumors going, the more Memphis play hardball, this could impact it negatively. And if you can get it down to 200, that is a definite buy.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
But
All right.
yeah,
Let's go for a break, and we will come back and we will talk about the All Kings insert from Topps. Thank you to US Sports Cards Australia. Go to ussportscardsaustralia.com.au. There you will find a huge range of sports breaks. Check out My Cards Australia, collectible protection, singles categories, hobby boxes, sports memorabilia. Week in and week out, we've been talking about Check Out My Cards Australia. Roscoe is still slaving away at that. But let's do something different this week. Let's go and see what we can get in terms of hobby boxes. Let's go to NBA. Let's see what Ross has got on special here. Select Hanger Pack for $40. Select Basketball Blaster Box for $65. He's got the Mosaic from 24-25 for $58.99. That's a very specific price, Roscoe. And from 21-22, he's got Mosaic Basketball Blaster Box, which coincidentally is what we have currently to be given away for our giveaway, which is going to be happening on Monday night.
that's the best question, yeah.
All you need to do, that's right, is give in your best question and you can win a blaster box. Thank you so much to Team US Sports Cards Australia for your ongoing love and support. Adam, we are back, buddy. How you doing?
We're good. I haven't demanded a trade
Yet.
yet.
What podcast would you be traded to if you...
Oh, that's a good question. I definitely, like, given the quality of ours, it'd be like straight to something like on the Ringer. ESPN can hire me. I don't know.
I mean, that's the dream, isn't it? We get bought
NBC,
out.
maybe I can give better comments than Michael Jordan.
We get bought out by Disney.
Wondering, because I reckon NBC did like a 2-hour sit down with Jordan, and that's it for the season. Do we talk about this now?
Are we going to segue? Okay, fine. Let's segue into this. I got to tell you, I thought, and I'm an idiot, I actually thought he was going to be sitting courtside doing commentary.
He was going to come into the building. Nah. I thought he'd sit in a studio and watch it and do halftime updates maybe. But
So-
no. He's done one interview.
And it's so funny. I actually found that content really underwhelming, but I was still riveted just because it was... like,
It's
I got to
Michael
hear
Jordan.
Yeah, it's so weird, isn't it?
It's not weird at all. Like if this guy is such a recluse in the basketball space,
Yeah.
having that nostalgia come back, NBA on NBC is such a
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not throwing
And
shade at that,
didn't
but
they
I
get
think
an
I'm just more
AI?
disappointed that
Isn't the voiceover AI?
is it.
It's to replicate the '90s voiceover guy.
I just assumed they got him back.
I heard it was. I read somewhere it was AI. So
Everything's AI these days, isn't it? Anyway, well, look, what I actually hope they do with Jordan is get him in on more frequent, you know, interviews, and they ask him
yeah, a bit more
up to
relevant.
date stuff that's happening in basketball. Because I would really like. Because what did you learn from that interview? What, he shot free throws with kids from the backyard?
What
Who
about the
gives
other?
a
What about the
fuck?
load management one? But we've heard that before. Back in my day, we didn't rest. Sure.
Wait, no, that's not what we were promised. We were promised him giving back to the basketball
Insight, giving
community.
insight,
That's right. Yeah,
shutting down the
I feel ripped off. Yeah.
down the goat debate.
Anyway, all right. Let's leave this before we segue too
Go
hard
into a
on this.
tirade. Yeah, true.
All right, let's talk about the gambling thing because there was a FBI raid where Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups were actually arrested and charged, and additionally, there was also a whole bunch of other people that were arrested, allegedly with the mafia and organized crime syndicates.
Mm-hmm.
The Chauncey Billups one's a little bit interesting because he wasn't sports betting; he was rigging poker games.
Yeah,
And
it was
essentially,
a different gambling charge. It wasn't actually the
the
yeah.
scam is that he was used basically as bait as a celebrity to bring in whales and high rollers to say, "Hey, you can come and play
Come and
poker with Chauncey Billups."
yeah.
And then with that, they were using like really high-end technology, X-ray contact lenses, so they could see the cards that were coming through.
CT scanners. Sorry.
Shuffling machines, so they could actually shuffle the cards and give the players they wanted to win, very particular cards. Like it's incredibly elaborate. They also had
cool.
like communication going on with each other.
Mm.
So my take from that though is that I find it really hard to believe that it's completely separated gambling, being with the mafia, and then having no sports betting influence at all. Like, would they ask him about who's going to play in the next game or how many minutes is this person going to play? Like, I think to just say, oh, he was only gambling and not sports betting or sports influencing, I think that's pretty naive. And before we get too far into this conversation, I actually think he's going to be severely penalized for this. And even if he's not penalized in the sense of like, going to prison or something, I think this is probably going to be the end of his NBA coaching career. Like, if he comes back into coaching, I am going to be very, very, very surprised by that. And then the Terry Rozier one, he'd already been investigated last year. And I think really all we need to talk about with this is like, why was he let back into the league? Like, they knew that he was already up to some crazy stuff. And then to sort of let him back into the league and then he gets arrested by the FBI. The obvious follow-on for this conversation is Malik Beasley. Like, that's it. He's cooked. Because all that stuff came out around him and then he was cleared. But the video footage around Malik Beasley, in my opinion, is probably worse than Terry Rozier's stuff. Like, I think Malik Beasley threw games harder than anyone that we've probably discovered. Like, the footage on that man is terrible. And I got to tell you, like, why don't these NBA players just say, look, I refuse to play with him? Like, you can't tell me that Cade Cunningham's not upset by his performance now that all this has come out.
I don't know. Wasn't this obviously going to happen, though? Like, isn't this stuff like...
Yeah, so
Isn't this just a natural product, like a byproduct of introducing gambling or legalizing it?
And I think so. And the other thing about that too is like they also spend a percentage of the total yield of the gambling to actually investigate this stuff. So the other part of this, you say, well, it's probably been happening all these years anyway, but we just didn't have the ability to detect it and find people up. So I think that's important. Actually, let's finish on this ad, and I'll get your input on this. Chauncey Billups, after he was arrested, came out wearing a Clutch Sports Group hoodie.
Yep.
Who is LeBron James's
agency. Yep.
And Maverick Carter's also involved in that too. And he's also been investigated for giving tips to gamblers. So my take on that is like, Clutch Sports, get me the hell out of here. give me the world's best lawyers, or I'm going to like spill the beans. That's my interpretation of him wearing a hoodie out of
Oh,
prison.
that's
That's my
interesting.
final take on this. I'm going to let you take this over, and then we'll move on to the next thing. I don't want to do 25
Yeah,
minutes. on
no,
this.
no, no.
Yeah.
I just look. I expected something like this to eventuate. I think it's just it happens. If there's money involved and the opportunity to profiteer off it, people are going to do the wrong thing to get their result. The thing I'm finding funny in what I'm seeing on social media is anytime anybody has a bad shooting night now, there's a post on Instagram at some point going, clearly they're fixing the game.
I agree.
Their line was 25 and they shot 3 from 18 from the field. Clearly,
it's
that
really
was
hard to separate it, isn't it now? Yeah, 100%.
yes. It's just like us talking about every second expensive card being the Wondershine group.
Wow.
Almost.
It's more fun than rigging games, isn't it?
Or accusing people of rigging games.
I mean, my question is, where do you get these hoodies from? I want one.
The clutch ones.
Yeah, I want one, man.
Do you know what? Can you imagine that? Like, it's just an open source Clutch Sports, whatever.
I'm Googling for it now, but there is actually Clutch Athletics, but I don't think that's Clutch Sports.
Oh, can you imagine? Just eBay people are selling Clutch Sports stuff to associate with.
Do you know what? This would be a good eBay scam right now, just to like sell them. I reckon people would buy them. For all you wannabe scammers out there that have got a printing press, get to it. Yeah.
Goodness.
All right. Let's see how we go for this one. The Upper Deck CEO weighs in on the state of the hobby. From rising wax prices to increased speculation, he says the current market is being carried by the top 10% of spenders, and that could spell trouble if momentum shifts. He also then went on to a podcast, which I quite like who he went on. He went on with Darren Rovell on Collect.
Yeah.
And said that box prices are fixed. And that, it's basically like this, this huge rot that's being run. I mean, of all the people in the world that would know about how to run a rot, it'd also be somebody that ran it himself, right? So
True.
It's such a weird whistleblower of like what he's saying here. Blowout Sports Cards then went on to say that they were selling Upper Deck products for below the RRP that was dictated by Upper Deck, and now their allocation has been completely removed by Upper Deck, as a result of that. So,
yeah,
I think this, this guy coming out and saying this for me is, I disagree with almost everything that he said, because to say that 50% of the spending of the hobby is coming from 10% of the population, like I just don't believe that, because I think at the end of the day, the majority of the stuff that opened at, and the perfect example is this Topps flagship, it's base, man.
Yeah, but do you know what this just sounds like? Sour grapes.
Oh, this is
sour grapes.
Worst type of sour grapes.
It is. It's
hypocrisy.
It is. It's just a good old fashioned sook.
There's a couple of like high end guys buying $1 million cards, and we've known that. And I think, like, for me, that's the beauty of the card market, though. That there's room for the whales at the top.
Yep.
There's
Agreed.
room for the guys that want to spend a couple of $100 or a couple of $1,000, and then there's room for, like, I don't want to drag you into my world, Ad, but there's also room for guys like you and me that spend, $10 or $20 on cards, and maybe if we've got a bit more cash and we've saved up, we splurge on a couple $100. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I think for me, for him to say that, it's just, I wanted to get on here and just tell you and everyone who would like to listen how much I disagree with this numbskull. Basically,
I was going to say maybe it's maybe it's just a case of sour grapes, and it's just a dummy spit, and he thought he'd create a ripple, and I don't know. I can't believe people are. Yeah.
The company that produced the saying "junk wax" was Upper Deck. Like, you know what I mean? That was the company that printed so much stuff.
Yeah.
They can't even give it away.
They're
It's still
responsible
sitting
for
in
the
warehouses.
junk. They're responsible for the junk wax era.
They created the phrase junk wax.
Correct. Yeah, no. Anyway. Now,
how much more do we need to talk about
no,
this? Are you ready to move on?
Let's move on to the All Kings.
Can we do that after the break? But before we do, can we actually just touch on another funny CEO that's... This is an old post, to be fair, but it's called Nat Turner Hates Upcharges. And this is an old post that he put on to Blowout.
Yeah.
Complaining about how he was upcharged for his PSA subs.
Are you kidding?
This is a long time ago.
Wow, that's a hell of a... Oh, goodness.
2012, now the guy's owns and runs it, and he's enjoying charging people their upcharges. Like, the upcharge hasn't gone down. I feel like Nat Turner and old mate from Upper Deck should go and have a beer, frankly. They'll
Sounds like a whole lot of first world problems, hey?
All right, that's enough of me poking fun at rich white guys who are out of touch with reality.
Should we go to a break?
Neon Trading Cards, thank you so much for agreeing to sponsor our show. We are flattered, we are honored, and we're very happy to work with you. Go to neontradingcards.com. There you can find all of your breaks. Now, I found a post on their Instagram which tells you how to get involved with Neon Cards. Go to WhatsApp and also Facebook groups. The link is in the post, so you'll find that on their Instagram. Buy your spots on their website, which is neontradingcards.com. Follow them on Twitch, Facebook, and also YouTube to watch their breaks live. That's where they broadcast all of their breaks. And lastly, they offer free domestic and international postage. So if you are our friends who are listening in America, which, by the way, we now have more American listeners than Australians, so thank you.
There's a highly likelihood that there are Americans listening.
Yeah, to our friends in America, thank you very much for your support. You can go on to neontradingcards.com. You will get free international shipping with your breaks.
Fantastic. Also, that's not cheap.
Take advantage of the weaker Australian exchange at the moment. Your American dollars will go a lot further.
True.
Thank you to Neon Trading Cards for your ongoing support. Alrighty, we're back. How are you doing, Ad?
I am very, very well.
If you would do me the honor, would you run through this All Kings for me? Because I would love to hear your take on the All Kings card.
Is the All King? I like the look of these cards. So for those that haven't seen them, in the new flagship product,
that's a great place to start.
Topps flagship. There's these All Kings, which are just like a playing card with a king on it, and there's actually there's, given LeBron James's nickname, there is a LeBron. So King James. And this Instagram post on the Market Movers app says, FOMO is real when a big product is releasing and some people like to jump on the big hits early.
Yeah.
These LeBron All Kings sales show that sometimes all you need to do is wait. So sales went from $4,000 to $1,000 in the space of one day.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I think the reason I put this post in for us to break down, because it covers two things at the same time. So we get to froth over these cards.
I like them. I've liked them from the
This is
the
a
outset,
hit, by the way. I think this is a fantastic card. I think the concept is simple, but it's very, very well executed. And I think in some ways it's almost like a blank slate for me, whereas it's a very, very simple design, but geez, it's effective. Mm-hmm. And then the next point is what they're talking about was that FOMO thing. So look, you don't really know which of these two sales is real. Was that $4,000 card actually paid for? And then did the seller on the 1,000 one actually cancel it because they wanted more? So that's I'd put in that. But I think the bigger part to me is if you want to talk about FOMO, is like that's absolutely correct. Often when cards first get released, they will go for much overs.
Well, I'm going through
Once the
eBay at the
market-
moment, having a look at some of the sales.
What have you got?
3,000 Australian, which is probably
Okay.
around the
Yeah.
2,000
That's about
American.
halfway between the two, right? And
Yeah,
that actually
yeah.
makes sense to me. Yeah.
God, that's there's been some high sales, but yeah, around 3,000 Australian, which works out to be 2,000 American, I think is the more realistic product from sold listings on eBay anyway. There's the one that sold for a lot, but which I think that's I think people are prepared to pay overs. There's always the chance that this becomes a super short print of a case hit and the LeBron becomes super rare. If it goes from you buy it for 4,000 and then 2 weeks later they're 8,000 each, you're a genius. And if you buy it for 4,000 and 2 days later it's worth 1,000 or 2,000, you're an idiot. Like, no, you're paying what you think the card is worth.
I think this is really difficult to predict at this moment in time because we don't know much at all about population. There's nothing on PSA with these cards at all. Mm-hmm. And until that data set is built, like for me, it's very difficult because this is an unnumbered case hit or parallel that's coming out, right? So I personally think these are overs at the moment, but at the same time, I don't think they're drastically over. The thing that I'm currently comparing them to is a blank slate.
Yeah.
And I think if you can get the comparable player in a blank slate for the less of a price, then I think you're overpaying for these. That's the way I'm currently going about these cards. In saying that, there is always exceptions to the rules. I think, for example, the LeBron is fantastic. I think Wemby is so hot at the moment. So the sale for that was 2,300. I'm gonna assume that that's USD ad. So that's that's 3.5 Aussie dollars. 3.5K AUD. Look, I think Wemby's hot at the moment, but I still think that's very, very risky to put that much cash into it this early in the piece before we know anything about it. The other thing I'd probably comment on this too, there is a lot of these sold at, which probably makes me think they're not as rare as we are thinking that they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess you don't know, especially with a product like Flagship. It's not like it's not Topps Chrome. It's not. I don't know. Like I feel like it's the first product, so there's a bit of hype there. But I agree. I agree that it's overs. I also find it funny that you're propping up an insert set after criticizing Topps' inserts earlier in the show.
So my approach to Topps is, I'm not on the take from Topps, so I have nothing to gain from fanboying them out, right? So my observation so far is most.
Are you on the take from Panini? Is that why you're fanboying over Panini?
I wish I was. I just really feel like at the moment most content creators, if they took a shit in the middle of the road, they would like put a candle in it and then sing happy birthday to it. Like honestly, it's like it doesn't matter what Topps does at the moment. Like some people will just celebrate it. So my take, and I've said this is not the first time I've said it. If they do something bad, I'm going to say it's bad. And if they do something good, I'm going to say it's good. Like so that's it.
Fair.
This is a good insert.
Nice.
But I'm glad you liked my analogy about them taking a turn in the street. Do we need to talk more about All Kings, or have we done enough?
I think All Kings is a beautiful looking card. I definitely think there's a couple of big bangers that we'd like to talk about.
Yeah, so I think we need to talk about...
Since we're on Flagship.
Yeah, we need to talk about these two ones, absolutely. So the LeBron 1/1 autograph has been found. That's done. That's out. The Super Refractor is out. I personally think what we should talk about here is how much is this card worth. I think this is the really fun part of this conversation because...
You know what I found funny?
Coming out of a relatively low-end product, how much should someone pay for this?
I don't know, but this card came out, was pulled before LeBron even took the court for the season. Anyway.
I
LeBron
actually
one of
don't think
one.
that matters, man. I think it's a LeBron on-card autograph in a Lakers uni. I personally think this card's going to go for a lot.
The one of
I mean,
one. I
the obvious number for me seems to say $1 million, honestly.
I don't think it'll go that man. I was gonna say 200K max.
Okay. I'm really curious to see where this ends up because if you think about it, this is really the biggest LeBron card we've had for.
All right, yeah, for a while. Okay. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just because it's the flagship product. I'm not convinced that it's.
Yeah, maybe that.
What's the
maybe
most
that's what I'm-
expensive one of one from John Russ that we've seen? Or do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like maybe the Luca next day auto was the biggest.
But yeah, it's a one of one, so there's some relevance there. So, but yeah, definitely a huge card. Not discounting that. It's a massive card.
No, you're probably right though. Maybe I'm way overs with my estimates just for the fact that bigger stuff is going to come out. But I also get the feeling that Wales are going to try and get it in on that.
Agreed.
Like, why wouldn't they try and get in on that?
Does it make the Wonder Shine Index?
I don't think it'll make the index, but if he buys it, I wouldn't be shocked at all. So the Luka Doncic next day autograph PSA 10 is sold for $20,740.
But that's not numbered.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
However, that sold in 2023. So I would anticipate that it's gone up at least 5K. Yeah. So let's how much did you say? 200?
I said 200 is the cap. I said between 1 and 2, but 2.
Okay, so that's still 10 times more than the Luka.
Yeah, but this is a one of one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like a Wemby. It's not an auto, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's close to $1 million or $500,000.
No, I think you're right, to be honest.
200K.
All right. One more big one to talk about is the Cooper Flag one of one. This is a non-autograph card, but still, it
just
is a
the
big
one of one.
It is called the Foil Fractor, and I need to start practicing and getting my head around all these different types of cards because it's just a whole new ball game.
Yep.
This came out of China, which is, I think, another emerging trend we're seeing at the moment. Heaps of big stuff is coming out of China. The amount of product they're opening over there is huge. This was put on by the collectibles guru. I was going to say Eric, but it's not Eric anymore, is it?
No.
And the question that he asked, and I think this is definitely the question we should be talking about, is how much is it worth?
One of one rookie. Cooper Flag holding up the Dallas Mavericks single-handedly at the moment because everyone keeps getting injured. One of one. This is a tricky one.
So the most expensive Cooper Flag card sold is $97,000, and that's a Chrome University autograph.
I'd say I'm gonna stick in my ballpark. I'm gonna say 250.
So going down to something that does not have an autograph or a patch.
But it's a rookie. It's a one of one rookie.
And it's also not.
And it's not university.
Not university. I think that's the other thing too. It's like that person who spent that 97,000K on that university card. This
is Cooper Flag in a Dallas uniform.
All right, here we go. 2025 Panini Instant Draft Night Black, one of one. PSA, I'm going to say 9.
One of one. It can be
my
authentic.
old eyes are still working. This is good. That sold for 12,000.
Oh,
so I reckon.
Okay.
Let's say double that, and I think that's a.
So maybe a $25,000 to $50,000.
Yeah, maybe like 2024, something like that. That's my guess.
Wow, I the lack of an autograph. Yeah, sure, but isn't this like the first rookie card?
Well,
like the first printing of his
flagship card.
Well, the first licensed rookie card of Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with it being worth $250,000.
All right.
If he's as good as they think he is, anyway.
Yeah.
Turns out being a pile of poo that people celebrate because it's called Tops. then maybe not. But I think if he goes on the projected trajectory, then it's a $250,000 card in a couple of years.
Let's keep going. We'll do one more quick one. We'll go for a break, Ad.
Sure.
This is from @Tops. This is on Twitter or X. Breaking: 3 players will wear a gold NBA logoman this season. Tops and NBA have partnered on a brand new gold logoman program. SGA MVP, Stephon Castle Rookie of the Year, and Evan Mobley Defensive Player of the Year will be the 3 key award winners who wear the gold logoman for the 25-26 season. These game-worn patches will be placed in ultra-rare trading cards. I think these are going to be extra collectible. I'm also going to go on a limb here and say that as good as Tops are at business, or Fanatics is, they will push the NBA to spread this program out further. For example, all NBA first team, all NBA second team, maybe even out to the third team. They'll have their own special logoman.
Do you know what they'll do? They'll make silver ones.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's
even
interesting.
Bronze. Yeah. Even if they were bronze, I still think that's interesting and collectible.
Yeah.
And even if they're not put into trading cards, like imagine if you purchased a jersey that had an autograph on it and it had that extra special logoman on it.
Special logo. Yeah, for sure.
That's really cool for me.
But that signifies, I actually like this because it signifies, well, it's the year after, so it's a bit tricky. That, you know what I mean? Like getting a card for the previous MVP or the previous...
Yeah, for sure. But, so we've spoken about Tops doing the debut patches already.
Of course.
So they've got that going on. They've got this going on. Also, my observation in a very small data set is they're also putting dates on when players wore the memorabilia, and that's something that we just didn't see from Panini. We didn't even get game-worn stuff towards the end.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm all about this. I think this is a really...
I think it's fantastic, yeah.
It's a good thing for the hobby, and I also think it's a good thing for collectors where you're actually getting something that, in my mind, has genuine value, not just a piece of delicious looking fabric put into a trading card. Yeah.
I still think maybe scoring champ, defensive player could warrant for those
why
things.
not?
Yeah.
Why not?
All-Star would be silver.
Give them some cool little thing.
I think All-Stars should get silver ones after All-Star weekend.
Or a logoman that's got an All-Star thing laid into it or something like that. Why couldn't they do something
a star in the NBA logo?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just little things.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes it more collectible.
It is time to go for our last break of today, Ad. We're going to thank our friends at fastbreaktradingcards.com. Again, thank you to Alvaro for coming onto the show 2 episodes back.
That was great.
It was an honor to have him on, and he's always very illuminating. Even though I think sometimes he does hold back from us, he knows stuff, this man. And
it's great to have him on, though.
We need to ask more questions like the Ja Morant reporters, don't we? Just keep needling him until he
really
breaks.
just stick the needle in. Line him right up with a spotlight on him.
Alvaro, we're joking, mate. We're kidding. FastBreakTradingCards.com. Go there for all of your sports cards, memorabilia, card protection, pre-order, Fanatics consignment, gift cards, supplies, and grading needs. They will take care of everything for you.
And don't forget they're a Tops partner as well.
They are also a Tops partner, absolutely. This week's ad, we're going to go onto their website and find something that we'd like to purchase. All of their Tops flagship is completely sold out, so we can't talk about that and their pricing on that. It must have been good because it's all gone. I am going to look at the 2025 Tops Chrome SpongeBob SquarePants 25th Anniversary Hobby Box. That's selling at $650. That is too high for me, so I'm going to look at the packets, which are trading at $55 a packet. I will dabble on a packet
of SpongeBob.
I can't stomach $650 though. Fair. The other thing that caught my eye too is the 2026 Tops Premier League starter pack for $35. I will probably also grab a box of that too. But I'll get their advice before I purchase, because that's the other thing. I don't have great knowledge when it comes to the soccer products, but the guys have been really good at pointing me in the right direction to get that there. Adam, what caught your eye?
Because there's no Tops available, and given previous discussions about the amazing community they've got down there at Fast Break.
That's 75 Tulip Street in Cheltenham. Thursday and Friday 12 till 6. Saturday 9 till 5. Sunday 10 till 4.
That is spot on. I will be jumping in the car and heading down to the store and having a look at what they've got in the cabinets, because they have a fantastic range of both NBA and Pokemon cards and AFL, everything. Like, they've got all kinds of singles there. So I think every time I pop down, there's been something really nice in the cabinet. And John and Alvaro are always happy to look after me when I'm impulse buying cardboard.
Thank you so much, boys, for your ongoing support. Adam, we're back. Now, this next one is for you, mate. So I'm going to introduce this very briefly, and I'm going to let you take over. This is from Card Ladder. This was posted just 2 days ago. This is the 1980 Topps scoring leader Bird Irving Johnson card. I know you have a soft spot for this card. It last sold for $800,000. I suspect this is now going to be out of your reach to add to your PC. Adam, how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, it can keep going up for all I care, because I think the real rookie card is an individual card with one player on it. So I'm just going to call it there and go, that's lovely. It's a good little... It's like having an insert, but it's not the rookie card. My view, and it's not the popular view, but no, I think it's the 1981. There's a Bird and there's a Magic Johnson rookie. I would call them the rookie because it's the first appearance they make on a card by themselves. I'm not surprised. This card is destined to continue going up. Bird, well, all three players are amazing, legends of the game, and that's not changing anytime soon. So,
there's a few comments on this post too. This is from @3113. This really should be the top 10 greatest and most expensive cards ever created. But no, this decade's rookie cards of unproven players are top dog. There is a little... I kind of get where he's coming with that here.
Yeah, but the thing is, with a lot of these record sales, they're one of ones. They're crazy rare cards. This is a commonly available card.
Yeah, sure. Going down in the comments on this though, this is from Hobby and Collectibles. Says interesting. No black print line on the bottom right. Color looks immaculate. Centering is perfect. So I probably think what we should do now is actually look up the pop on this ad, because that actually might be part of the reason, what's going on with this card,
Yeah.
And literally it's the first card that comes up. So the population on this ad is just 24 on the PSA 10.
Yeah. It's insanely rare. Insanely rare. So, makes sense.
So...
I'm not getting one anytime soon.
Yeah, looking at the all-time sales data, this spiked huge after 2020. So it sold for 114,000 in 2019, and then it was literally just an elevator up to the sky.
Yeah, it did. It's one of those cards that the COVID crazy period that we refer to of that 2020 boom, it never went down because it's so rare.
Well, yeah, it fell to 427K, and that was very recently.
Yeah.
Now it's gone back up to 800. So, look, I don't have a huge problem with this card because I think this has genuine scarcity.
Oh, I definitely don't have a problem with the card. I have a problem with it being called the rookie card for these players. That's all.
Sure.
And that's just a difference of opinion. I think it's a historical card.
Yeah. I think you just have to let that go, man, and just say, look, even if, you agree to it doesn't matter.
Agree to disagree, but that's
it's like that whole thing with fast break cards, it's like, I think those should be worth way more, but they're just not.
Yep.
Okay, it is what it is.
Well, we did go from a point where the star Michael Jordan was discarded, and now it's up there with the Fleer
card. Yeah.
Who knows?
Keeping in the Magic Johnson theme, though, this is again from Card Ladder, a recent sale, the 2012 Prism Magic Johnson Gold number to 10. It sold for $20,000.
That is a beautiful looking card.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing too.
The gold.
It's that beautiful 2012 Prism set. It's the gold. It's obviously, that gold Lakers, the color
Color
match going
match,
on there.
yeah.
The low
That,
numbered, the beautiful grade. It's got everything. It ticks a lot of boxes. I actually think this is a really good purchase. Some of these cards that I see coming up on Cardlet, I think, when are you going to get your money back on this? I think you could sell this tomorrow and even almost double your money. Like it, I think that is just a
yep,
fantastic.
yep.
So whoever purchased that, kudos to you. Well done. You've beaten the market. Speaking about beating the market, this is probably my favorite card that we're going to talk about tonight. And whoever purchased this, I would just like to buy you a beer. Even though you don't need a beer at this point in time,
Ooh.
you probably should be buying me a beer. Anyway, it don't
Ooh.
matter. 2009 Classic Steph Curry autograph numbered to 499. It is an on-card autograph. The card is
Oh.
fantastic. He looks like a baby. It's a rookie card. However, the thing that what we're about to talk about is it is a true BGS 10 black label, meaning that the centering edges, corners, and surface are all subgrades 10.
Yeah.
The difficulty for people at home that aren't familiar with black labels, these are very, very, very difficult to get. And the black labels will sell for much higher than a PSA 10 will, just for that simple reason of it's got the 10s on all the subgrades. I can't believe how little this sold for, Ad. To the point that I actually think that I'm surprised the seller didn't cancel. It can't be right. What, a Steph Curry rookie card?
But it's yeah, I know. But it's not one of the renowned cards. Do you know what I mean? Like it's.
I think if you're getting a Steph rookie,
Oh, look,
that's a
I
black
think it's a
label,
phenomenal purchase. Like I think
Top
it's.
five?
I think it's great.
I don't understand this at all. Like I
But
genuinely,
the previous like sale was 12,500 a year ago. That's up a lot.
I just think
I still think it's given it's a black label.
Mm.
But is it like is it a licensing thing? Why is
maybe that's part of the issue, but
classics?
yeah, I don't know, Ed. I think that's a licensed card. Like I should know.
It's a
this, to be
beautiful
honest.
card though.
Yeah. Look, anyway, my prediction here is this card's going to 10x at some point, and we're going to
Oh,
look back
for
at this and be like,
sure.
Whoever got that, kudos.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
So we've just gone from one of the best who's ever done it, and now we're going to talk about ultra modern this week's stats, and we're going to talk about the coldest starts in the NBA at the moment. Shaden Sharp at number one being the worst. Points per shot 0.78. Derek White, your boy, also at 0.78.
Well, he's known for his defense, all right?
I think the thing with Derek White is he's better suited as a third or fourth option, not being the first or second option. So I will defend him in that. I think he's being used outside of his skill set currently due to circumstance. Trae Young, who's currently injured, and he's going to be, I think Trae's out for a while. I'll just check the injury report.
There's a few injuries this season that have taken early days, anyway. So Trae Young.
MCL injury.
Oh, he's cooked.
And he's going to be examined in a month. So this could be, longer than that. Cade Cunningham, my boy, at 0.91 points per shot. And then my other love fest, which I'm probably starting to feel not so much love for, Paulo Banchero at 0.91 points too. So let's just really quickly check Cade's card stats. The other thing, while I'm just looking this up, I'm going to add in is that there was a story out, and I should know the reference here, where he associated Josh Smith, if you remember him, the power forward from the Atlanta Hawks, to Banchero. And I'm not super happy about this comparison at all. In fact, I'm going to go out into limb and say I hate it. And if it is true, which I don't think so. I think Banchero is a much better scorer than Josh Smith ever was or will be.
I think I'm less.
That's bad.
I'm less worried about Cade and Paolo, to be fair.
Me too. I agree with that 100%. So Banchero is currently trading at 342. In the last month, he's down 12%, which is not a great sign for the
But
usual
remember,
excitement.
do you remember the dip on Cade last season before he went through the roof?
Yeah. Yeah. Cade Cunningham is currently trading at 557 USD. In the last 6 months, he's up 30%. The last 3 months, he's just up 8%. So he's been pretty steady.
Steady recently.
And recently, he's down 0.5%, but not enough for you even to really comment on that.
Yeah.
Look, I think this is interesting for me because looping this in, Shaden Sharp was just extended by the Blazers. They've paid him an absolute bag, 4 years, $90 million. They've clearly created space on their roster to facilitate him having more shots. So it might be one of those things of this is just a feeling out year for him, and this is what's to be expected now that they are giving him more shots and more opportunities.
True.
Clearly they see a lot in him. And I actually think he's the type of player you do take a risk on. His athleticism is elite. Just elite.
And honestly, like shooting slumps, sure, they've been inefficient, but
yeah,
shooting slumps can change.
Definitely. Absolutely. So Shaden Sharp, let's talk some cards on this guy. I found his card ladder sales history and I sorted it by price in terms of the most expensive first. His PSA 9 black 1 of 1 rookie card from Panini Prism sold for $50K.
Whoa!
His immaculate 1 of 1 patch Logoman with an autograph. I'm not too sure if I said that properly or not. 1 of 1 that sold for $26,840. I think there's a bit of speculation on this guy. Obviously, people are interested in him, seeing him do well. So, yeah, look, I think at this point he's high risk for me. I think particularly at these prices at 50,000 plus, like that to me is a little bit too much for Shaden Sharp. But at the same time, yeah, he's obviously got a market there to jump in.
Yeah.
Really quickly, we do have to give this guy some best wishes. This is for our friend at the Thunder, Topik. Unfortunately, did his ACL last year. This year has been diagnosed with testicular cancer. He's already begun treatment. So yeah, 100% sending him all the best wishes in the world.
Yeah.
Huge speedy recovery there, and we hope to see him back on the court.
Really do. Yeah.
ASAP.
Just hope he recovers. Sporting aside, like it's just you hope he recovers from the cancer.
Yeah. Kobe to finish with. I'm gonna leave this one for you.
I was gonna say Kobe to finish this week.
Yeah.
Do we just go with the 1 of 1?
I think we do the 1 of 1. I think that's the bigger card at the end of the day.
All right. Unreal. 1 of 1.
Time to froth. Let's go.
That is a beautiful card. What year is it? Oh, this is infuriating watching the video because I can't see what year the card is. But it's just a flawless 1 of 1 with the Logoman. I want one. How much do you reckon that sold for? Or would sell for? You're muted.
Do you mean how much would Shine sell it to himself in the syndicate?
Yeah, is this Shine's, is it?
Yeah.
Is this the Wonder Shine one? The 2.4 mil? Or is that a different card?
I think that's a different one, yeah. Yeah.
We can talk about that one as well while we're on it.
Yeah, we might as well loop this in for sure.
So it's a different card. Yeah, it's a completely
different card. This is not confirmed to be a Wondershine card. This is one that I was speculating on. But for those at home, I'm actually building a spreadsheet on confirmed Wondershine cards and cards that we have predicted or speculated to be part of the Wondershine. So this is the 2007-8 Exquisite Kobe Bryant patch autograph card numbered to 50. It's raw, which for me is fascinating on a lot of on a lot of levels at the moment. I think if you're spending $2.5 million, why can't you spend 1,000 or so to get it sent off to PSA, at least to get it authenticated?
Oh, they probably will though.
But I think you should do it before you do a private sale, because I think the narrative recently is that there's a whole bunch of new whales coming in with a whole bunch of fakes going around to try and pull their pants down. Like, are you spending that much with that insurance on it? Because even that autograph, like, I'm not saying this is a fake autograph. In saying that, it doesn't look like his normal one.
Do you reckon someone else wrote MVP on it?
Yeah, and it's also got that extra inscription on it too. So it's kind of like,
oh,
like,
can you imagine if you got the ink checked and it wasn't the same?
But for me, like, that's got enough red flags ad where it's like a super great patch. We know there could be patch swapping. The autograph that doesn't look stock standard, in my opinion, plus the inscription, and it's raw. Like,
look, yeah.
I don't know. That's my 2 cents. Like, it's too much risk for me.
And it's jersey numbered at 24. Well, so it's got a lot going for it.
And it's sold for jersey number 2. I just realized that.
Yeah, 2.4 mil. Yeah. How crazy is this?
This has to be a scam, doesn't it? Actually, now I'm starting to think this is a scam post.
No, it's surely on the Wondershine Index. That said, comping that to the Flawless.
Yeah, so what does the Flawless 1 of 1 sell for? That's a great segue.
The Flawless 1 of 1. I mean, Logo Man. Oh my god, like that's
which is mint 9 and autograph 10.
God, you'd say that. I want the Logo Man. So you pay what? Is $3 million card?
Price?
I'd say 4, but anyway.
I was going to say at least double or triple, surely, if that's gone for that.
Okay, so we round it up and call it a $5 million card.
It's so fun, isn't it? Like, I've gone from saying Kobe Bryant's an absolute buy. Are we getting to the point now, actually, this stuff is going for way overs? Like, 2.4 million for that raw card that's numbered to 50. That, to me, like, look, I think Kobe's are a buy in the sense that he's not signing again, and I think that
it depends on the Kobe. I think it really depends on the Kobe.
They've been going upwards in a very nice way, but that to me does seem like a.
I think
if we use that reference of bubble, like that, it's the bubble, isn't it?
No, that's Wondershine buying it in advance. I reckon it's such a round number.
It's a weird number, isn't it? Yeah.
Or it's the rogue Wondershine competitor trying to get in and buy stuff to the competing collection.
Outflex him, you reckon, man?
That's it.
Thank you, Adam.
Thanks for a great show. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you to all our listeners at home. We are not here without you guys, and we are very aware of that. We are so grateful that you tune into us every week. Thank you very much. Thank you to our friends in Australia, America, Canada, Philippines.
all around the world.
And people in Germany tune in. Yeah, like, guys, it's amazing. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
And we'll see you tomorrow.